welcome to another SecretEntourage.com video. Today we get the pleasure of talking to Pat Flynn, the guy from SmartPassiveIncome.com, and honestly the master of the free business model. I think, welcome first off, Pat. It's glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
So, you have an incredible story, and I think that the world knows that you're the transparent guy when it comes to affiliate marketing, and just you've now created this blog that's massive that encompasses the free business model, I think, better than just about any other business out there. Can you tell us just briefly a little bit about why you decided to start a blog about teaching people affiliate marketing and other venues of online marketing?
Well, the Smart Passive Income blog, which is, like you said, where most people know me from now, wasn't actually the first blog I created. The first blog I created was in the architecture world, and it was a blog that I started primarily, this was back in 2008. Actually, I started in 2007 to help me keep track of notes for an exam that I took. And it was only there just for me and just for a couple coworkers to help us pass this exam. I ended up passing in March of 2008, and I got promoted as a result of passing this test. And then, long story short, I actually ended up getting laid off a few months later from the architecture world. And I had taken this website that I had built just for me, and I discovered that after a year and a half that it was up there, maybe 6 months of not even touching it, there were thousands of people visiting that site every single day without me even ever knowing that this was happening. And so in October of 2008, I launched a study guide ebook on the website, which did really, really well. The first month it made about $8,000, then 10, 12, then I added an audio guide, did all these things to start making more money than I ever made when I was doing just, drafting stuff in architecture. And that's when I started the Smart Passive Income blog, and why I started it, because it wasn't until I got laid off and discovered this world of online business and doing it in the way that I was doing it that, I didn't even know all this was possible. And my whole perception of online business and internet marketing before I had done it on my own with this lead exam website in the architecture industry was, sort of a scammy, it was very scammy, sort of a car salesman, very aggressive, hypey, pushy type of industry. And I really wasn't attracted to it at all. But when I almost got forced into it, coming out of my architecture position, I realized that it doesn't always have to be like that. And actually, it's better if you can be honest and focus primarily on adding value to the lives of other people and giving them exactly what they need to fulfill a need or a want that they have or a problem or an issue. In that case, it was helping them pass that exam, the pain that went along with studying for that. I was there to provide that need for them, or that, fill in that hole. And as a result, not only did I make a ton of money from that website, but people went out of their way to thank me for it. They went out of their way to send me these really long emails, and a lot of people even sent me handwritten thank you notes as a result of what I initially did was give away everything for free. And what was interesting about that, about the lead exam site, was that the book that I published was primarily, I would say 90 to 95%, the exact same material that people could get for free on the website. And so this scared me at first, to sell a book that people could primarily get the information for free on the website. But a lot of my mentors and people that I looked up to said and reassured me that if I packaged it well, if I made it convenient, and if I showed that there was a lot of value that went along with it, people would be more than happy to pay with it. And I've sold 12 to 13,000 copies of that book. One person complained about the fact that it was the same material. So this showed me sort of power behind the give it all away model. And it taught me that if you really go above and beyond to give stuff away, not only are you going to stand out from the crowd, not only are you going to just really impress the heck out of people, but people are going to go out of their way to pay you back. So I've been following the same model on the Smart Passive Income blog, where I talk about marketing strategies and online businesses. I actually build businesses publicly on the site, showing everything how I do, step by step, again, free, providing a ton of value as much as I can. And what happens is people go out of their way to find ways to pay me back, primarily through affiliate marketing on that website. So on smartpassiveincome.com, I talk about all these different tactics I use or strategies. I use case studies and just do real life examples of how things work. And along the way, I'll often share products that may have an affiliate program connected to them. And I'll join those affiliate programs. And if they're products that I have used and I've used to success and I've used them well, and I know them well enough where I can actually teach that product or how to use that product, just the sales go through the roof. And I've had a lot of people, because, again, just giving away as much as I can for free, people have told me, a few people, there was a guy named Brendan Hufford who talked about this in a podcast that I did with him. He is a guy who runs gireviews.net for jiu-jitsu gis. He followed sort of my model, and he did the whole give it away for free stuff and being very transparent. And he talked about how one time he was going to buy something to help, I don't remember what product it was, but right before he checked out, he closed all the windows and said, crap, I forgot that Pat might have an affiliate link for this. I'm going to close out of everything. I'm going to go to another computer just to make sure that the new cookie registers or whatever, and that Pat will get credit for that purchase. Totally didn't have to do that. Doesn't add any sort of value. It doesn't get him anything more except the satisfaction that he's paying me back for the stuff that I've given away. And I think that just the way humans work, when you're given something for free, you want to give stuff back. I mean, a lot of people in sales and marketing know this. That's why banks will give away, little calculators, or car salesmen will say, oh, we'll throw in the leather seats for free. I mean, they're playing off of that same model. But for me, doing what I do online, I can just easily share stuff that will help people for free. And as a result, they want to pay me back somehow, which is really cool.
So you said a lot of great things. So I want to go back for 1 second and talk about that first ebook.
Sure.
And the reason I want to talk about it is because a lot of people launch new products, and repackage their content and try to sell it. What was it that made that ebook sell, in a sense? I mean, was it the amount of traffic you had, or was it just that the content was that good, or how would people perceive that value first off when you didn't have smart passive income?
Right. Well, for one, I was getting a good amount of traffic, but I think it was more than that. I mean, a number of people who actually purchased that book, and this again speaks to just the power of building a relationship with your audience right away before selling them stuff. A lot of people who actually purchased that book when I first sold it were people who had already passed the exam. They didn't need the book. They just saw it as finally a way for, a way to pay me back. I actually got a number of emails saying, hey, Pat, I already passed the exam, but you finally gave me a way to pay you back. Or I just felt like I needed to purchase this from you because I took so much free information from you already. So that was sort of the first part. The second part was because there was such a big need in this particular industry, of really big pain, to get the information to pass this exam and get it fast. And yes, a website had all that same information, but it's sort of clunky and not very convenient to just go from web page to web page, where you can't really flip through things, or you can't print things out and do exercises. And so my book took that same information but packaged it in a really nice way. I spent about a month and a half simply on the design and stuff. All the content was already written, or most of it at least, but I spent a really long time making sure that it flowed nicely and that it sounded like it was coming from my voice, that it wasn't just sort of a reference guide or an exercise book, but it was actually almost a story to go along with it, talking about what was going through my head during exam day and things like that. So that was sort of the added bonus that went along with the content that, again, people could already get for free. But there's such a big pain there, and people wanted that information quickly and fast and in just one spot. And I really feel like, at least in that industry, people felt like they had to pay for something in order for it to be good. Even though it's the same information, there's a perceived value that people have when they pay for something, and they're more likely to take action with it. Go to a furniture store that may have everything worth over $1,000, right? And you come across this really nice piece of furniture, but it's only $10. Something's got to be wrong with that, right? So, that's just what's going through people's heads. So that's why a lot of times, if you have something that people need, they're willing to pay good money for it because they know that there's some perceived value there. Now, the funny story is the first and second month I launched this book, I sold it for $19.99. I got an email from someone who actually purchased my book, a business owner who owned his architecture firm, pleading with me, begging me to raise the price because he said I was severely undercharging. And the way I chose $19.99 was I just wanted to have the incredibly lowest priced book out there. There were some other ones out there, mainly physical books on Amazon for $70 to $100, some in the $200 range. I just wanted to undercut everything. And because it was an ebook and I was using systems of automation, I didn't have much overhead. So I only, I was making 100% profit. And so, or like 99% profit. So this guy was like, dude, you got to raise the price. And he kind of explained why, and I didn't get it, or it didn't make sense to me at first. I was like, how is raising the price going to make this better? Isn't the lowest price better? Well, I took his advice. I raised the price by 50% the next month. So I sold it for $29.99, virtually 50%. I ended up selling more product, more quantity as a result of raising the price. And that just surprised the heck out of me. And again, it was because that perceived value